If you take a closer look at your arm, you'll see that your tricep actually makes up 60% of your upper arm size, and your brachialis, along with your bicep, makes up the other 40%. So these three muscles are very important to train and develop to get bigger arms. And while we can come up with all different creative ways to target these muscles, there's no doubt that certain exercises will help you get the job done faster and more efficiently than others. Many of these are staple exercises that have been around for a very long time, and the reason they've been able to survive the test of time is because they're so incredibly effective at helping your arms grow. So I want to go over the 10 arm exercises that you absolutely should be doing if you want to add inches to your arms. And I'll also go over workout programming principles and strategies like supersets and drop sets at the end so you can create a killer arm workout. And first, we'll start with the most simple yet the most powerful bicep exercise there is for adding mass to your arms, the barbell bicep curl. It's such an effective exercise because it allows you to use both arms at the same time so you can really load up a heavy weight to overload your biceps. You'll begin by loading a straight barbell and then grab it with an underhand grip so that your palms are facing forward. Your grip can be wide or narrow. By taking a closer grip, you'll be targeting the outside of your biceps more. Meanwhile, taking a wider grip will target the inside of your biceps more. So it's good to incorporate both close and wider grips throughout your bicep workouts. In either case, once you grip the bar, stand up straight and curl the weight up until your hands are almost at your shoulders. But don't rest at the top. Instead, slowly lower back down and repeat for reps. Remember three things as you perform your curls. First, make sure that you're not swinging your elbows forward. Second, make sure that you're not flaring your elbows outward. And lastly, make sure that you're not cheating by throwing your hips forward, using momentum, or bending backwards. Also remember, this exercise is supposed to be a mass builder, so it's very important that you use a challenging enough weight that you'll struggle to hardly complete 10 reps with. Preferably, I want you to fail before you even hit the 10 rep mark with this exercise. Doing a few sets of barbell bicep curls to failure is by itself a very powerful stimulus to help your arms grow. Up next is the dumbbell spider curl. This exercise allows you to completely eliminate momentum and cheating because you'll be laying flat down on a bench. So using your hips and lower back to cheat will pretty much be impossible. The other benefit is that you get a greater range of motion than what you would get with most other curling movements. And the incline position helps ensure that the biceps are under a constant state of tension for a longer period of time. So start by setting up an incline bench and then lay prone with your chest resting against the top of the bench. Grab your two dumbbells off the floor and allow your arms to hang straight down. Many beginners make the mistake of tensing their shoulders and holding the dumbbells in front of their shoulders rather than letting them hang in a straight line towards the ground. Make sure you don't make that mistake. So from there, you're going to turn the dumbbells over so that your palms are facing out and then curl the dumbbells up towards your shoulders. While doing this, again, make sure that your elbows are not flaring out or especially forward, which is a common mistake with this exercise. After you bring the dumbbells all the way up, squeeze your biceps for a second before lowering back down and repeating for reps. Next is the barbell close grip floor press. Now, the big benefit of the floor press as opposed to the regular bench press is that it limits your range of motion and it makes you come to a dead stop, which relaxes your muscles, eliminates the stretch reflex, and makes the path upward a little more challenging. Also, since your elbows can't go past the floor, you wind up overloading your triceps because that limited range of motion puts more focus on the tricep portion of the exercise and less on the bottom chest portion. So start by loading a barbell on a rack set up about arm's distance off the floor. Lay down and position yourself so that your eyes are under the barbell and grab a close overhand grip so your hand should be about shoulder width apart. Then unrack the bar and hold it over your nipple line. From there, you're going to lower down slowly in a slight arc-like fashion so that the bar ends up under your nipple line at around your sternum, which is above your top two abs. Then press back up in the same arc-like fashion so that the bar is back to the starting position over your chest and repeat for reps. As you're performing your reps, remember to keep your elbows tight to your body and don't allow them to flare out. Next is the skull crusher, and I'm going to be using a tricep bar, but you can use an easy bar for this as well. Even though regular skull crushers are very effective, doing them on an incline creates an angle that leads to a very intense stretch and contraction on each and every rep. To begin, you'll take a seat on an inclined bench with the tricep bar in your hands. You should have a neutral grip with your knuckles facing out and your thumbs facing towards you. And start with the bar resting on your knees. Lay back and bring the bar up until your hands are slightly behind your shoulders. Make sure you lift your head off the bench to give enough room for the bar to travel behind your head. And then slowly lower the bar down by bending your elbows while keeping them as close together as possible. Once the bar is behind your head, extend your elbows until the bar is back to the original starting position, which should have the bar behind the line of your shoulders rather than in line with your shoulders. This helps keep constant tension on your triceps. So from there, you're just going to lower back down behind your head and repeat for reps. Let's move on to one of the oldest and most effective tricep exercises, the dip. I've gone over the dip in many of my other videos, but I almost always forget to mention that your goal should be to eventually do dips with extra weights strapped to your body. If you currently can't do bodyweight dips, you can work your way up by slowly using less and less weight on the assisted dip machine, or by using smaller and smaller resistance bands over time. Many people get to the point where they can do regular dips and never push themselves by strapping more weight, which absolutely should be the goal if you want to add mass to your arms. Performing the exercise itself is pretty straightforward. You're going to need 2 parallel bars that are high enough off the ground to perform dips, and you're going to start by hopping up and locking your arms out. Then lower yourself down slowly by bending your elbows until your shoulders are slightly under your elbows. Do this without flaring your elbows out and without leaning too far forward. From there, you're just going to extend your elbows, press back up, and repeat for reps. Next, we have a standard old school bicep exercise, the dumbbell bicep concentration curl. This is such a great exercise for building up the biceps that there's even research from the American Council on Exercise that shows that the concentration curl can elicit far greater muscle building activity than most other staple bicep exercises. The concentration curl will also allow you to really focus on each arm independently, which will allow you to even out any strength or muscular imbalances between your 2 arms. To begin, sit on the edge of a bench with your legs wide and a dumbbell on the floor in between your legs. Grab the dumbbell with an underhanded grip and pin that arm against the inside of your thigh. To set this up correctly, you want your lower tricep to be against the inside of your thigh, not your elbow. That means that you have to bring your arm a little further down than your elbow. Your other hand can rest on your other thigh as you curl the dumbbell up towards your upper chest. When you get to the top, squeeze for a second and then slowly lower back down and repeat for reps. Keep in mind, if you're having trouble building up the outer portion of your bicep, also known as the long bicep head, then consistently performing this exercise can really help. Another great tricep exercise that has been around for a very long time is the dumbbell kickback. You might see people doing this at the gym all the time, but I want you guys to do a slight variation that'll make it much more effective. Normally, you would grab a dumbbell in one hand while planting your opposite hand and opposite knee on a flat bench. But instead, this time, I want you to plant your elbow on the bench instead of your hand. By doing that, you're going to get your upper body a lot lower, which I found to really help increase the amount of tension placed on my tricep throughout this exercise. So you should try this and see how you like it. Other than that small change, the exercise remains almost exactly the same. So you would start with your elbow bent close to your ribs and your forearm along with the dumbbell hanging straight down towards the ground. From there, you would just straighten your elbow by bringing the dumbbell straight back until your arm is fully locked out. Then lower the dumbbell back down and repeat for reps. Now with kickbacks, it's very common to see people cheating by using momentum to swing the dumbbell back and forth. This will take tension off of the triceps and shift it towards your back instead. So make sure you're not cheating by using too much momentum. The next bicep exercise is actually a powerful compound exercise that you should not forget to leave out, the chin-up. Now, if chin-ups are too difficult for you to do with your own body weight, you can use resistance bands or the assisted pull-up machine. And once you can do your own body weight, the goal is to once again work your way up to strapping additional weight to your body. The chin-up will also work your back muscles like your lats, traps, and rhomboids, but as opposed to regular pull-ups where you have an overhand grip, you'll activate your biceps much more with the underhanded grip you'll take while performing chin-ups. So begin by taking that underhand grip with your hands positioned about shoulder width apart and hang straight down. Then pull your body up by driving your elbows down while simultaneously curling up. Do this until your chin clears the bar and then lower slowly back down until you're back in the starting position, hanging straight down with your elbows locked out. Then repeat for reps. Let's move on to the tricep pushdown, which is a very common but effective cable exercise. For this one, you'll position the pulley at the top of the cable cross with an easy bar attached. Then grab the bar and bring it down right around to your chest while having your elbows locked close to your ribs. At the same time, you want to lean slightly forward and stand with your feet either side by side or in a staggered stance with one foot in front of the other to help maintain better balance. Then you're simply going to extend your arms and bring the bar down until your arms are fully locked out. Then slowly bend your elbows back to the original starting position and repeat for reps. Make sure as you're doing this, you avoid the common mistake of leaning over the bar and pressing the weight down rather than extending your elbows. Finally, last but not least, is the easy bar preacher curl. This is one of the most effective bicep exercises because it eliminates cheating and still allows you to use heavy weight since you're using both arms at the same time. Start by standing behind the preacher curl pad and lift your easy bar up with either a close or wide grip. Then sit down and make sure that you slide your upper arms low enough so that your armpits wind up resting on the pads rather than hovering above the pads. Then curl the weight up towards your shoulders, and once you reach the top, lower the bar down slowly until your elbows are almost fully extended, and then repeat for reps. So these are by far my 10 favorite exercises to perform when the goal is to add mass to the arms. There are a couple ways that you can take these exercises and put them into a workout. For example, you could superset a bicep exercise with a tricep exercise on every set. So you would perform your tricep exercise first and then immediately go to your bicep exercise right after with no break. Since these are opposing muscle groups, it's a great way to get an insane pump while still being able to lift heavy for each muscle group. I also recommend trying to occasionally combine 2 bicep or 2 tricep exercises together. One with a heavy weight for 8 to 10 reps, and the next one will be a burnout round with a lighter weight for 15 to 20 reps. So an example would be to do incline skull crushers for 8 reps and then immediately follow up with 20 reps of cable tricep pull downs. This is another great strategy that'll help you overload your arms. Other than that, just focus on 3 to 4 of each the bicep and tricep exercises out of these 10 per arm workout and focus on getting stronger on each of those over time. By doing this, I have no doubt that your arms will grow. Other than that, if you enjoyed this video, as always, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you want more help and you want to work with me and my coaches to eliminate all that guesswork, then visit my website where we have done-for-you programs that are proven to help you burn fat and build muscle in the most efficient ways possible. You'll get a customizable meal plan, a full video exercise library, and a coach to answer any questions you have 24/7. To find out more, you can click the link below in the description, or you can visit my website directly at gravitytransformation.com. I'll see you guys soon.